and do it the simple, stupid way, and you will be more successful. When you make too much effort, then your anxiety or depression only gets worse. And then you come back with a vengeance. You didn't eat for a week, and after that you are like, okay, today I'm going to gain all that back and plus more. One of the problems with diets is what happens is actually when you are on a diet, you think your body likes it, your body doesn't like it. What happens is you are on a diet, you lose weight. But in that process, your metabolism slows down. When you break that rule of diet, then what happens is that you will actually end up gaining more than what you lost. So it's like a stepwise, you will become heavier and heavier with time. So if you were 130 and you do diets, you will go to 120. When you gain it back, you're going to be 135. And when you're 140, you go on a diet, you go to 120, 25, when you gain it back, you're going to go to 150. There is some research that in animals, if you are in a calorie restriction, even if you did it for 3 years or 2 years, and I don't really want to tell you this because it's actually not a positive thing. Even if you broke the rule after that and you didn't do it, you will still benefit in the long term. It's a good analogy is when you are a smoker. Let's say you are a heavy smoker and you smoke for 20 years and then you stopped. The after effect of that is going to last for up to 10 years. You still have the risk due to smoking. After that, the risk is going to completely go away. So even if you stop being on low calorie and gain some weight, it is a permanent money in your bank account for much, much later. Now, the reason I didn't want to tell you, because this is kind of telling you, okay, go ahead and regain it because you still have the benefit. I really don't want you to do that if I could. But I'm telling you, the research shows that even if you broke the rule and if you are a low calorie restriction for 2 years, now you have a permanent bonus given to you for the long haul. But that should not be your goal. Your goal should be that you are going to do it for the long haul and live healthy. You want to have the same energy when you're 80 years old that you had when you were 50. And it's doable. You want to have the same energy when you're 95 years old. And you're active and you're not complaining all the time that you're tired. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, this is about the repair genes. You said when the repair genes are active, then if you have diabetes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure, it helps with that. My question was, what about with osteoporosis or tumors or anything like that?
Everything. The answer is everything, including cancer.
Awesome.
All kinds of cancer, every single disease which is associated with misbehavior, wrong lifestyle, and aging. Everything that is associated with wrong lifestyle, wrong habits, misbehavior, wrong eating habits, exposure to environment, and genetic predisposition, which is primarily cancer, the risk of every single one of those things dramatically goes down. And that is all. This is not my opinion. You don't believe me? I'll pull out the article for you. Please feel free. Actually, go to internet. If you believe that internet is full of it doesn't tell you that there's all kind of gossip, go to the source. April of 2009 Nature, September issue of 2009 of Nature. You can also read it in the Science Journal. It's everywhere. There's plenty of research. There's enough for you to read, and it shows that cancer risk, diabetes, blood pressure, stroke, arthritis, almost any disease that you name, because one way or the other, disease process is related to our behavior, our lifestyle, what we eat, what we put inside, and also the genetic predisposition. So you were born with a familial gene for breast cancer or ovarian cancer, that risk goes down. So the old myth that you are doomed because it runs in your family, this cancer, that is not true. because you can either delay it or completely get away from it. You live throughout your life and that cancer never happened to you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Me?
No, yes, you have a question.
I've gained and lost 4 times between 90 and 135 pounds. And each time I lost it, like when I was younger, I lost it very fast, so I gained it back at 10 pounds a week. When I got older and realized that didn't work, and so I tried different ways to lose it. The last time I lost it very slowly, very naturally, and kept it off for 3 years. That's the longest I've ever kept it off, but now it's coming back.
I think one of the reasons why it lasted long the last time you did, it's a rule of nature. This is built in nature. Slow and steady wins the race. This is a very simple rule.
But I'm not winning. And I admit, I don't say that, and I will tell you, I don't have 10 ounces on me that I didn't earn.
Okay, how tall are you and how much you weigh?
I'm 5'4" and I weigh 200 pounds.
Okay, for some reason you look a lot slimmer. It must be that chair that's hiding it. Okay. You are among those 95% people that tell me the same thing. And I'm not insulting you. Don't take it personal. I'm going to get back to the same issue. There is only 5% among you. Let me tell you this. If you are telling me that you did calorie restriction and you did not lose it.
Oh, I did lose it. What I'm saying is I'm eating my way back.
Okay, right. That is why we spent half an hour about the answers are going to come from within you. The spiritual and the mental strength is going to come from within you. Do not seek help from masters and gurus. You have to make that change. If you do that, you can stay slim for the rest of your life and you will dramatically reduce any risks as you grow older.
Well, I quit smoking after 35 years for 22.
That will also make you gain weight. When you stop smoking, then you get, so there are going to be many.
22 years.
Right. Well, back then. But the thing is, that's one example. There are many, many factors. And all those, you can take those individual things that are causing the problem and deal with them one at a time. Or you can have one tool with you all the time, your spiritual strength, and you do not have to analyze anything. You do not have to think about it. It will happen. Tell me why, if you have a burger in your hand, why do you have to finish all of it? It's going to run away? Are you born in Africa that the food is going to run away? Eat it all right now? Because the next meal nobody knows where it's going to come from? It's a serious behavior. See, these behavior problems come from, various very complex things that happen in our life while growing up. And I understand, if you were somewhere in Uganda or Kenya, and you know that it's not a sure thing if you're going to have meal tonight. That's the smartest thing to do, to eat it all. You know how much food we put in the garbage cans? That can feed like a couple of African nations. Isn't that a shame that we do that? You go to restaurants, you order the biggest plate. And then you eat half. It is food. They are constantly throwing food. Who was this guy who came to America? He said, one thing impressed me about America, that their garbage pails are very big. So what I'm saying is, I don't have answers for you. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I do not have answer for you, and I cannot tell you anything that you don't already know. You know it all. It's a question of, are you going to implement that in your life? And for you to be successful in implementing, you have to do a little bit of spiritual search of your own self. And you have to deal with that problem. You have to deal with the fundamental problem, what's underneath, why it's not happening. you have to change your behavior. The brain has two portions. The upper cortex, if you see brain, what it looks like on TV, it has gyri, it has all these grooves. That's the upper part of the brain that developed later on in the higher species. The real brain, which is predominant, that's underneath, is called limbic system. That deals with your emotions and feelings. And you need to tap into that part of the brain. If you try to be smart and knowledgeable and use your cortex and say, I'm smart, I know what I can do, it won't work. You have to tap into your subconscious mind, which will kill you, because that mind, if you do not deal with those emotions and feelings, it does not work. Unfortunately, that brain, which is hypothalamus pituitary, underneath the cortex, part of the limbic system, somehow dominates our decision making. So you have to sort of hypnotize yourself and tap into that brain and ask, let that emotional part of the brain deal with it and make decisions rather than intellectualize it. When you intellectualize it, you are reading books, it does not work. Because weight problem is a problem here, yes?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah, didn't you raise your hand?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead.
I saw a documentary on people in another country following calorie restriction
Yes.
for longevity. And they were, but one of the criteria was that they were eating one meal a day.
Right.
Do you feel that there's any difference? And they had a formula, so they were, very, very consciously counting and working with a specific range of calories. That they consumed them all at one time, and that was it for the day.
Actually, the way mammalian stomach is built, through sort of evolution, if you believe in it, is that we are supposed to be like cows and graze all day. That is the best thing for your stomach. The best thing for your stomach is not eating one heavy meal. But for simplicity purposes, let's stop worrying about that. Just focus on the fact that the first 3 months, you're gonna feel slightly starved. It's okay, you're not gonna die, you're gonna nourish. I myself have enough extra food here, trust me. Just like when you are pregnant, what happens is, women will say to me, is it harmful to me that I have gained no weight? I gained 0 weight. And I tell them, don't worry. Baby knows how to get food from you. You got extra, you got meals for another couple of years, extra meals there. And the baby, the physiology, the way physiology is, oxygen and nutrients and everything preferentially go into the baby first. If there's any leftover, you'll get it. And if you're not eating, baby will eat your fat. Why I'm giving you that example is that just like that analogy, your body knows how to take care of itself. You just do not make things more complicated than they are. If that works for you, 1 meal a day, go ahead. It works for some people. If you ask me for physiology, yes, the way is to have a couple of nuts, an hour later have a little cookie. You do it that way. That is best for the stomach. But right now we are dealing with a bigger problem. Let's not analyze. Get simple. And once you get to that goal and you get into second phase, then we will say, maybe this is not a good way of eating. Maybe I should have 10 meals a day, very, very tiny meals. Modifications, going on a healthy diet, that's phase 2. I purposely recommend that method because I will make it as simple as possible for you for the first 3 months. So you don't have to think about it. Just do it the stupid way. Just don't spend your energy. It's very precious. Save your mind. Just eat your junk. It's okay. Do it for first 3 months and then you worry about. So to answer your question, that's eventually once you are in the groove of it, it will be more appropriate to eat very, 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 very small meals during the day. But the good news is